Hi folks, welcome along to a new build. It's another going back for the future, and this time we're looking at a hospital. As you can see on screen, that's set number 6380. It was known as the Emergency Treatment Centre, but it was also known as the St Mary's Hospital, which was the kind of not official name for it back in the day, but it was kind of how it was known. It came out in 1987 and has about 300 pieces in it. It also has, as you can see, about 5 minifigures, which are currently dotted around the build, and some in the ambulance as well. I think there's actually a couple of minifigures I've added in here, because you can see obviously there's 5 there already. I think there's another one out front and one in the ambulance, so I've got a few more than what there was. But as usual, for going back for the future, I'm wanting to make this into a mills plated system which can fit inside my city. So that's what I'm going to do today. So here we go. So there we are. There's the new version of the hospital. As you can see, it's obviously changed a little bit. There's a few bits in there to note, obviously recognisable parts possibly. We have basically incorporated the hospital from 60330, which obviously you can see there. It's sprawled out a bit more on that one and obviously covers across the road, but I've just redesigned that a bit to have the three rounded windows actually in the row at the end of the building, and also built the rest of the shape using some of the parts, but obviously adding parts as well. As you can see, the windows have been added in. Obviously there's a lot of white parts being added in to make the walls, to change it from that. So obviously that's included as part of the build. I've also at the moment got the helicopter at the top, which I will need to spin up a little bit to let you see. There you are. So that helicopter at the top, that's actually this smaller set here, 610. It's quite an old set. It's a special Canadian one, I believe. I can try and get some light on that, but it's also a Canadian rescue helicopter. We've got the wee Canadian emblem, the maple leaf at the bottom there, on the side of it, which you can also see on the helicopter itself. It's a nice little. It's also not got minifigures on it because they can't fit in the way it's been built. But it's a nice wee build there. And obviously, I have actually got another helicopter to go on there as well. So the other helicopter is 60405, and that's that one there, which is a more recent helicopter. Obviously, it has minifigures, including the space for getting this stretcher and everything on board to the helicopter. Really nice set as well. It's not too dear actually. It's quite a big helicopter for the price. You can get it on Amazon at the moment. Actually, it's an offer down to £14, but it's normally £18. Great British pounds, obviously. I don't know what the price is in other markets, but obviously the appropriate exchange rate will be obviously coming into account there. But I just quickly swap them over. So yeah, sorry, the set number, I didn't say it was 60405, and that can also sit on the helipad at the top there. Obviously fills up a lot bigger space on top there than the smaller one, but it still does fit. So yeah, we've got the choice of helicopters, but obviously given this is a back for the future set, I'm actually putting the older one on there just now, because it is more on the era of the original St Mary's Hospital set, obviously, as well. So it's a bit more character, especially again we've got the original ambulance that came with the St Mary's Hospital set. I actually do have what was an off-road ambulance. It's another set that came out recently, which is obviously in the same sort of colouring, etc., as the helicopter. That one came with a motorcyclist, or actually just a cyclist, I think, mountain biker, who was meant to be injured, and obviously the hospital ambulance was coming to collect him from whatever damage he'd done to himself. And that was set 40582, 4x4 off-road ambulance, and again it's still available on Amazon at the moment. Comes in at £30. So again, it's quite a nice little set. A bit different, obviously. It's a different looking car, being the off-road one, but again, as I say, it matches the helicopter. But for now, I've got the original, and it'll probably stay there, to be honest. I think it fits a little better. That does fit in, but it's really tight, so I've got a space in my city next to the hospital, which has an ambulance bay marked out as well, so that one will go into the ambulance bay, and this one will stay with the actual hospital. So obviously the two of them can both work out of there. So I'll just have a wee look and get rid of the helicopter just now, and have a wee look at the building itself and all the floors also, which has been added on to make the build a lot bigger, but also fit onto the city as well. It is on a 32 by 32, which obviously ends there. I've got a bit of a beach behind the hospital, so I've added that on, but the main part of the build ends where that green plate ends there, which you can almost just see at the bottom of the screen there. That green plate's the end of the 32 by 32 size, and the beach area there has been added on. Let's pop this down a little bit so you can see a bit easier. So that's it, going around the back of the building. As you can see, the back that faces onto the beach is basically all the newer hospital, which I've obviously redesigned a bit to fit into what I was wanting to obviously wrap around the original St Mary's. These were all part of the original, sorry, not the original, the newer hospital, the flower bed and plants and tree and etc. And that came with the actual hospital, and I think that was the front door for the hospital originally. So I've got that also facing the beach side now, with the St Mary's having the proper frontage. I'll come back to that. Also, you can see there's a bit below the steps for going up to the helipad as well. This wall's quite plain, obviously there's not much to see on that side. That'll be butted onto the Natural History Museum, so you'll not see that anyway in the village, the town. But again, wherever it lands, even if it's not that building, you'll not see much of that because it will be next to another modular. So at most you'll probably just see the top of the building if it's peeking out above one of the smaller ones. But I think at the moment the Natural History Museum, it comes pretty much up to the top of it anyway, so you won't see any of that. So obviously we've had in the hospital sign that came from the new hospital, and there's been a small redesign to the actual St Mary's part. This part's been added on. It's an extra floor. As you'll see as we go through the building, the old part is actually mainly just a staircase now to get to the different wards and the different floors. Instead of having a small nurse's station, and I think it was that one. That's obviously, as I said, just turned into a staircase so we can get between all the different floors. It was the best way I found to incorporate the main structure of the original, but obviously include it in and make it work for the rest of it. So I'll take the car out of there just now. The canopies move slightly to make it fit. I think I brought it forward from memory, and just moved the wall, etc. to make that work as well. So that bit came forward. This parts are basically the same, and I've added on that to the top to get the next row for the next set of stairs up. So I'll take the tops off and we can have a look at each of the floors. So here it is with the modular floors removed. You can also see that the core of the St Mary's is still there. We've also added on a bit of wall for the top as well. I'll tell you the reason for that in a second, but that's basically the original St Mary's from the three parts, basically the three parts of the building, still there. And we've also got the bottom floor from what I mocked up from the old, the newer hospital. that was the bottom floor, or part of the bottom floor, for that. And I've also added in a reception area and a toilet area as well, which goes on, basically carries on through to the older part of the St Mary's Hospital, the original part of the hospital, obviously. So there is a staircase which you can just about see in there, which has been included just to go up onto the next floor. As I said, that then goes on to the floor there. Let's see if we can just zoom in on that a little bit. So you can see there's the, I'll get a light on it as well if I can. There's just basically a turnaround area. The staircase goes up onto the floor there, and then the stair turns round and comes up this way here to get to the floor, which is obviously removed here. Same principle on the floor above as well. There's a staircase which goes up from here onto this part of the floor, and then you come round and it goes up again onto the next floor up. So it has essentially just become the staircase, the main staircase for the building, for manoeuvring through the whole building. The reason I've left that top part, you can see there, there is actually lighting in the building, which probably isn't a big surprise, because it is something I always do. But that's basically why I've left the central part. There's wires running up and down, which hopefully you'll not see too much. There's a wire just running down there, you can see. There's wires and lights obviously within this part of the building, so that when the building's all together, the lights are obviously basically coming out on each floor. It means I don't have to have the separate, obviously, the lighting. I know you can get magnetic and stuff, but I don't have lighting on each floor that depends on them all being there, sort of thing. So that's my core area for the lights, and that delivers lights to each floor. And you can see there, obviously there's a light in that block there, which will light up the top floor at some point. There's also a strip light underneath here as well, and another one under here. And if I just lower you down, you can see there's a strip of lights goes around the bottom floor there as well. So if I just drop down again, you can see the reception area there. You can't really see the counter, but there you go, there's a computer. You can kind of see the computer just at the corner there. And there's a little reception area here which flattened out, and we've got a toilet in here as well. And obviously that's back to the front, that's where the sign is, the hospital sign, and the room at the front of the building as well, which is part of the original St Mary's. The garden area that was in front of the old St Mary's is kind of incorporated into this area here, and we just kind of moved it back. Obviously it did have a larger front green area at the original one, and it had the drive coming out, if you remember, going into this bay. But obviously, because this is my part of town, we've got the walkway here, and pavement sidewalk, whatever we call it. So it's just a drive coming up off the main road into the hospital bay, and a pavement along the front of the building, so that the garden area has been pushed back into the corner, and that's obviously between the two parts of the building there. I'll just zoom that back out again. So yeah, as I say, that's it on its basic part of the building. Obviously there's no modular part there. That's the base of it. So I'll get the next floor on, and we can have a look at that and see what's in there. So I'll just go and do that just now. So on the next floor, we've got obviously a couple of wards. There's a little room just at the back of the building there. You can see there's a stretcher line in the room there. That's in that little corner right there. And we've got an examination room of some sort at the front part there in the window, which you can see there. Got a nurse working in there. And we have also got the nurse station part which I can try and get lights onto. We've got the nurse's station part there, which was basically the thing that was in what is now the stairwell on St Mary's Hospital, and that was one of the ones on the first floor, and just a wee desk with a phone. And we've also got the nurse at the station there as well, and there's a little bit where they've got a tea machine, coffee machine, something. So that's now in that part, and obviously, as you can see, there's a staircase incorporated into that as well. That joins up to the one obviously in the central part of the main build. So I'll just put this onto the build at the moment, and that gives us the next floor there. So if I just spin that around a bit, you should hopefully see. I have to take it a little bit closer, but I can get some light on that again. You can see there, obviously, the staircase. It comes up the way from down on that floor. You turn round on to the part of the old hospital, and that then goes up the staircase there, and then takes you up to the next floor. So that's incorporated into this part here, which was the part I actually added on to St Mary's, because it stopped at that level there, with the 2 floors. And so I added this one on, obviously trying to keep the same sort of styling to make it match with the original set. And that again, as I say, is the next floor for the staircase to let you up onto the next level. So I'll go and get the top floor, and that'll complete the build up. So I'll just go and get that just now. So here we go for the next floor. You see there's a wheelchair that's actually part of this, but I'll take it out because obviously it's going to fly about when I'll show you the floor at the moment. But here's the next floor up. So as I say, we've got there's a couple of pictures of minifigs on the wall there from sports sets in the past, but that's the little wheelchair station bit there. We've got the staircase again. As I said, it appears on this level. You can see obviously the black one in the background there. It comes up onto the level here, and then you can go up again, up the blue staircase there, and that'll take you up onto the roof, which is obviously the access for the stretchers and stuff coming in from the air ambulance. So that's how they'll get back into the hospital, just directly from the roof, rather than having to try and get the casualty down from the roof onto the ground floor somehow. So that's that part of the build's mainly there, and we've got some kind of scanning machine. Also, we've got Burrow Thor on the table at the moment, but he's basically going through that I don't know if it's an MRI scanner or what kind of scanner it is, but there's a scanning device there. It came with the newer hospital, which he's obviously on at the moment. There he is, and we've got a doctor obviously overseeing the examination as well. And obviously when we put that on, you can see obviously that there's some pictures of the minifig body and some scan results and stuff on the wall there. If you can see the posters just through there. So that's all come as part of the newer hospital build. That's all included in that. And so I've just incorporated it into this build. So I'll get that onto the build as well. And you can see obviously that's where the light that's incorporated in on the wall, which I'll just take that up again, I'll show you. And that's the light there that's been incorporated into the original St Mary's build. That's now going to appear on here. So you can see I've built part of the wall. I'll move that wheelchair in place. I've built that part of the wall which stays with St Mary's. So obviously it just butts on, and then that means that the light in that panel on the wall is actually displayed inside the building, obviously, but it's part of the main part of the St Mary's build, and obviously includes part of the roof as well, which is why it's still sticking up at the top there. If I just take it down a little bit, there you go. So yeah, that part of the wall's still sticking up, but that's because it's now part of the roof as well, which we'll also still to add on. But that goes all the way from the roof down to the very bottom of, say, the original St Mary's build. So that's that floor in place now as well. I'll just give it a quick spin round so you can see, and I'll go and get the roof. So that's obviously the missing bits there. They're attached to the roof at the moment. It's taking the parts away with it. Let's move it back a bit so you can see it a wee bit better. Take that up. So that's the main part of the build, and the modular part's obviously all on except the roof. So I will go and get that just now. So now obviously the helicopter's made a reappearance, just outside the screen there, but that's because we have the roof here. So the roof's obviously the final part to go on. You've got the helipad at the top there, which is for the helicopter obviously, and it has some steps. I'll turn it around this way. It has some steps there, which allow the minifigs to get the casualty away from the helicopter and down into the access into the staircase, obviously down there. And we've got a stretcher sitting there waiting for the next person to come in, and they'll just carry them in and then get them down the stairs. So that's basically what the features are there. Obviously you see the blue marking, basically outlining the stairs, because obviously they're the same colour as the roof, so that when the guys are carrying or helping the casualties down, they don't obviously fall off because everything's white. So it's got the blue outline there. The rest of it's obviously pretty standard. There's just a roof space. It's also got the hospital logo on the top there as well. It's got a smaller one on the back of it, so the hospital sign does actually spin round. So just to make sure that you're always seeing the hospital sign, it's got one on the back. So the next thing to look at here, I mentioned at the top of the video, this area here, which is a couple of windows, which probably looks a bit strange, but what they are, they're actually removable, which is why there's a space on top of them, and that there is actually a light pack. So much the same way as I had with my space set, that's just a standard LED string, which comes on 6 hours, goes off 18 hours, so it comes on automatically every day. And since obviously we've done the start of this video, take that stretcher off, since we did the start of the video, the lights have actually come on, so you can actually see them working now. So that's basically the bottom. I'll move this away a wee bit. That's the bottom of the roof now. So inside we've got a few Technic bits. I'll do a wee video on how I'm doing these, obviously, for anyone who's interested. But I'm basically using Technic studs and running the wires between the holes in these Technic pleat pieces. And obviously for this one it's got an L shape as well, because it's obviously a corner, or an L-shaped roof. So I've got a few Technic bits going about, so I can run the cable along the whole roof and have lights at the whole bit, obviously on the outside there as well, because that overhangs and lights up the building, which you'll see in a second. But I'll put them on just with a couple of studs, hold them in place just to stop them falling down, but they sit in there nicely. And these ones are obviously inside the building, so you don't actually see them from outside, but they hold the lights up and obviously stop them from falling down into the actual building. So I'll just put that on and you can see obviously the effect that has. So at the moment, obviously it's only, as I said with the space set as well, it only lights up the top floor. So there's lights obviously that'll come on, which I'll turn on this end, that light up the other floors, and obviously part of this floor as well. But this one only lights the top floor, so the automatic lights light up my top floors, and when I've got this wired into the city, I can turn them on and off, and that'll light up the rest of the building from the main set. But these ones just do the top. But I'll just lay that on just now, and you can see obviously it's not as obvious with the light, so let me try and turn that away. There you go. So as you can see, it does light up the interior of the actual hospital, just as I said, the top floor, but it does add a bit to it, and it makes it a lot cheerier when you come back from work and whatever, and your town's already lit up without you having to actually do anything. So as you can see, it's lit up in the window there. I've also got those lights hanging down, which is lighting up the front of the building. Again, you're not seeing it as well, but if I just dip this light down a little bit, there we go. So it does actually light up the front of the building a bit. I'm just looking down onto the roof of the original St Mary's part, the one that's got the room in it. So I'll put these lights back up just now, because I have got more lights obviously to put on, and put them back in. that makes it a bit easier to see. But yeah, that's the purpose of that. That, as I said, it lets the village or the town light up on its own, and just makes it a little bit cheerier for whenever the darkness starts coming in. The town comes on automatically itself. If I just move this down a wee bit, you can see obviously the top floor there. It's got that up for the assembly square. What I've made into the obviously the Dancing Lights dance studio. It was a top floor, which I believe is a dance studio anyway. So I've made that into the Dancing Lights studio, and that's basically it there. Just that top row there comes on itself every night. Once the darkness comes down, it just lights up, and this one will be the same. Obviously, I'll do the same. I've also got that on my Doctor Strange one, which I forget the name of, Sanctum Sanctorium. The detective's office, and the Natural History Museum, and the garage, the Space Centre as well. A couple of the smaller sets, the houses and the bookstore that came with the bookstore build. They've both got them as well. So the town starts to light up quite nicely when the darkness falls. And as I say, I don't have to do anything to do that. It just comes on itself. So I quite like it doing that. So that's the build basically finished for this one anyway. I said I'll do another video about the lighting at some point, just to show you what I do with them. But it's pretty self-explanatory, obviously. But I'll do a wee video at some point. But for the meantime, for this build, that's the new St Mary's, the hopefully improved, but certainly much bigger St Mary's than it was. And obviously it is now modular onto a 32 by 32 mils plate, so that fits into the city nicely. And it's obviously a more spacious hospital should anything happen in the village and needs medical assistance, which hopefully won't be the case, but it's here if it's needed anyway. So I'll go and get the lights set up, and I'll let you see it with the bottom part, the bottom lights lit up as well, and I'll go and do that just now. So here we have the finished model with the lights on as well. So hopefully you can already see. I will turn down the main lights a bit so you can see it a bit better, but you can already obviously see that there's like the light there to light up the hospital sign. It's just a blue LED. Obviously being an emergency service made it blue. You can see obviously a bit better in the room there that they've got a light on, and obviously the staircase is well lit up as well. And if I can spin it round a bit, I need to move the battery pack as well, or else it will catch and pull it out. But round the back of the building, you can also see the reception area as well lit up. I'm going to move that again. There's a small lit up hospital sign just at the door there, and we've got the reception area is lit up, and you can't actually see it from there, but the staircase is obviously going from there lit up as well, and that's the lights that are coming through obviously into the different floors. And you can see obviously that one there's lit up as well. That's the one that's on like a panel thing on the wall that has the lights as well. So that gives the building all the lights coming from the main part of the St Mary's, which is the main part that comes down the front there, which you can't see at the moment. But I'll just quickly turn off some of these lights and let you see how light it is in itself. I'll just darken that down. So there we go. That lets you see it a bit better, obviously with its own lights on. It's a wee bit bright for there, so you can see in a wee bit. There we go. So yeah, you can see the hospital sign also lit up there, the reception area, where the lady's sitting at the back there. That floor, which is not the brightest, but it has the light coming through and lighting up the rooms in the ward there, and the staircase at the back's getting more light from the other side, which you're not seeing from this angle. and obviously the top, which has the light there, but it also has the light coming down from the auto lights as well. I'll just spin it round so you can see. Obviously there's quite bright lights, I'll try and darken that down a wee bit. There you go. So there's quite bright lights coming out. Obviously the main part of the St Mary's now staircase is where obviously the lights are, so they are quite bright there. I'll just spin it round. Hope my USB's coming round with me. And that's obviously back to front, so you're seeing obviously the room there's a lot more lit up. The staircases and the front door. The front door, which I haven't actually mentioned until now. The front door is at the side there, so when the ambulance parks up it can go straight in. That's the actual front door access. And there's a waiting area, that's where those seats are that you can see there. The waiting area goes all the way back and into obviously this reception area at the front here as well, but that's at the back of the building obviously. But that reception, that's part of the reception area for the reception at the front desk as well. And as I said, we've got the blue light highlighting the hospital sign just there, as well as the one from the automatic lights, which is lighting up the front of the building as well. So that's pretty much it. That's it complete. We've got the helicopter at the top again. One thing I haven't done yet, but I might do in future, is get another set of lights just for the roof part, which would be proper Lego ones, or Britmax or light tailing, whichever, and actually just lighting up. I'll put the lights back up actually, so you can see that. But put lights around where on the helipad you've got these orange lights, so I could actually put in some flashing LEDs onto them and have that actually lit up in LED, flashing away for the helicopter to land on. So I might do that at some future point, but it would just be using the little 2032 battery packs, this little sleeve. I'll just get it tucked in here somewhere and get the lights on to each other, or perhaps every second light, something like that, just to have it feeding just the helipad. But the rest of the roof space I'm reasonably happy with the way that's turned out obviously. So I'll get the helicopter back on. So yeah, that's the build all together, lit up and pretty much finished. I'll give it a quick spin round, let you see. But yeah, so that's my updated St Mary's Hospital, back from the past and also back for the future. That's going to fit into my city and be ready to look after any ill residents that we have. And yeah, that's it. So I hope you've enjoyed the build. Obviously I'll get it into my city and it will appear when I do a city tour. I'll need to get an update for that done because there's been quite a few changes since I last did one obviously. But I'll get that into city and get a city tour done at some point. But for now, that should be it complete and ready to go into the city, so I'll get that done. And I hope you've enjoyed seeing this installment of Back for the Future, and I'll hopefully see you again for some of my future ones. So again, thanks for joining me, and I'll hopefully catch you again. Thanks guys.